Oh yes, legends. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing absolutely fantastic today. We'll be analyzing the situation for the price of Bitcoin. Still uptrending. We've filled the CME gap and we are still uptrending. No shorts to be taken, at least on my side, guys. Let me know, how are you feeling? Is it unrealistic? It needs to reject already, right? It needs to roll over. We filled the CME gap. Gaps usually provide that resistance. Yesterday I was explaining that I'm not interested in the short just as of yet. Still long from $86,000. This was also provided inside of the trading community, of course. I'm very interested in shorting Bitcoin. Very, very interested, guys. I think we have a major opportunity to short, but it's not here yet, guys. It's not here yet. Was explaining this throughout the last few days that we're likely going to bounce, we're likely going to range, we're likely going to get some information. Once that information is given, we're going to pull the trigger. So we are in upside momentum. I have to say, in this local uptrend, okay, very staircasey. Looks like it's going to roll over. Why isn't it rolling over? It's bearish, right? Bitcoin is bearish. It's downtrending, right? There's no chance we could hit 91, 92, 93, 95. The chances are still very much there, guys. And there is one crucial pivot that needs to be respected. And that's this one right over here at 88.7K. We almost touched the lows here. And the main reason why this low is so important is because of the bullish structure that we have developing here. This is a pretty interesting move to the upside. And then it's followed up with this movement. If you lose these higher lows, then from this low over here, you have a three-wave move. You cannot form a flat because B wave went through the roof here. So this is crucial that we maintain this uptrend structure to form multiple 1-2s to break out very aggressively in a third wave. Now, it might not happen. We might break down and then get the bounce and continue the range for the next coming days. This is actually a very, very interesting zone, because if we were to take out these highs, I think we're going to explode to the upside. Okay, so we're going to see if that does happen on stream. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think? Are you feeling bearish? I have to say, this movement to the downside does look like a little bit of an impulse. So the bears definitely have a chance here to form a lower high. Not really interested in doing anything yet. I'm happy in the short, happy in the long. It's sensible to take some profits of the long position here, because this retracement came very, very close. And for this to be a 1-2, a second wave to come this low from the start of your wave one is very, very rare. It's a very, very deep pullback. But I think, you know, as long as the market structure is still very much intact, the bulls still have a chance here. We're going to dive in through the different scenarios and explain what I'm looking for. I have to say, this movement down does look a little impulsive, and we could form a three-wave corrective structure here and reject at the golden pocket zone. We got a little lower high right there for a quick little execution scalp. If we were to stretch our legs here, it's either this lower high with the golden pocket or the 7/8 Fibonacci that I would look for a quick execution short scalp. Let's see. We're gonna have to see here. I am giving a chance for the bulls here to go to the upside. Let me go through the comment section, then we'll break down a little bit of the analysis. Okay, we'll break down a little bit of the analysis here on the 1 hourly time frame, trying to understand this movement down, this bounce, and come to the conclusion of what we could be looking for in the next coming days. As mentioned, I'm extremely interested in shorting Bitcoin at the moment, but I think the time is not in yet. I do think that $80,000 is a matter of time that we do get down here for the price of Bitcoin in the next coming weeks. So yeah, let's we'll break things down. Okay, guys, much love to everybody. Let's say hello to the beautiful community. Just obviously we start off here with the disclaimer. The content is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. The information provided is not guaranteed to be accurate or complete. Always conduct your own research before doing any financial decisions, right? Let's go. CBM is here in the comment section. Shout out to you, my man. Much love and respect to you. We have him here. Let's go and say hello to the beautiful community. But there was a lot of people being bearish yesterday, saying that there's no chance that we hit 91, 93. Most of the people were quite bearish. We did a poll yesterday on, do we get the price coming down to $85,000 range or $91,000? We were trading somewhere in this area, literally in the middle. More people were favoring the downside than the upside. I would be interested to see what people are favoring today with this price action. And this is why we're going to create that poll right away, guys. All right. I'm going to go with the same levels. What comes first for Bitcoin? Get your votes in, guys. 91K plus. Let's go with minus 86K, right? Which is the lows. Let me know. Get your votes in right now. The bears have a chance right now. Where are we at? Without a doubt, to form a lower high. Okay, they do have a very, very good chance. If we break out the highs in the next coming hours, I think we're gonna have we could have a pop to the upside of a few $1,000s. Okay, so yeah, we mentioned this level. We hit the daily. We are trading kind of beneath the daily, at the daily, the point of control. We did get a small reaction just today, barely missing the level after we filled the CME gap. So it's a reactionary zone. But as explained, I mean, if you entered a short here, well, I'm not interested in shorts at the moment. Not interested in shorts. There will be better shorts in the next coming days, I can tell you that. And I want to break down a little bit here the story that the chart is giving us, which is very interesting, because there's only one movement that will come to fruition. We have 3, 4, maybe 5 movements. Every movement that we follow now in the next coming hours is going to invalidate one of the 5 moves that we have ready, maybe one of the 4 moves that we have ready, till you actually have one high probability move that will bring you that sweet trade setup to make some sick profits. So we will break down a little bit of the information that we have in the chart. Okay, we like to talk about the story of the chart, and I'm here to share the knowledge with you guys. And for that, smash up the like button. I'll say hello to the beautiful community right away. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, if the music's too loud or too low. Interesting. The votes were leaning more to the downside yesterday. Now they are to the upside. Okay, guys, let's go. Much love to everybody, okay? Happy to see you come at the right time. Lakid, much love to you. Much love. Thank you very much. Hello, Andy. Appreciate your consistency, bro. Really inspiring. Axie Kuno, thank you so much for that. Today, we've been proven that, I mean, unless you're getting into a scalp short here, we've been proven that this level, right? We had confluence. This is the power of Elliott wave theory and the power of knowledge of reading the market structure, price action combined with Elliott wave theory, with Fibonacci eventually. Because if you only have the knowledge of a daily level, the point of control, the CME gap, right? This is why this zone was not interesting for me yet to get into a short, even though I understand that the bears have a chance here to roll things, form a lower high in this zone and roll over. They do have a chance. But it's not an extremely high probability setup at the moment. So we've been proven today that this level, yeah, I mean, you got a bit of a reaction zone, but for the moment, it's not looking attractive enough, right? It needs to form a lower high, right? We're downtrending. You know, we've got so much resistance here. I mean, for the bears, I'm talking for the bears here. They are looking to short this resistance. And timing is very, very important. Understanding the structure to the downside when we use Elliott wave theory. The biggest move happened here. We have time for a bounce and a range to be forming in the next coming days, and things will be put together for the highest probability setup. We'll be breaking that down now in the next coming minutes. Guys, smash up the like button if you do enjoy the content, if you do see the power of technical analysis and trading, which is given here every single day, Monday to Friday. Where's Andy? Went poo. Sook, much love. Toddy, click the like button, makes you a total legend. There we go. If you are a legend, if you smash the like button, you are a legend indeed. Okay, Bitcoin community, don't get overly excited. We are still going to 73K and perhaps lower. Yeah, we are in favor of that scenario. I am in favor of coming down to the lows at $80,000. Okay, it all has to do with this movement. It's high probability corrective. A high probability corrective bounce to the upside means that there is a high probability that we do get to $80,000 at some point. Question, of course, now for the trader: is it a good time to short now? Are we going to roll over here? Are we going to roll over tomorrow? Are we going to hit 93K? Are we going to range a little bit, form certain structures that can be identified, and then short, right? You know, there's a lot of questions, right? A lot of questions for those people that don't have much knowledge in doing proper analysis. That will very likely be resolved today for you here on the stream. Okay, so we are here. King, much love. My legend, come back. Click on the like for Andy. Least we can do. Much appreciated, my man. Brother provides amazing free content. I'm calling for a market dump today. Interesting. Yeah, it is. We are at a very, very crucial point at the moment for the bulls. They need to maintain above that higher low, and we really are going to focus on this movement today. Okay, we are really going to focus on this movement to the downside, and just this range that we formed to combine a few things that could happen. Okay, we combine a few things that could happen, and in the next coming days we'll have the solution. We'll have the solution in the coming days. Okay, much love to everybody. Let's go. Evening, Daniel, much love to you. Thank you for joining. Andy, man, lovely to see you. Thank you very much. Lovely to see you. Andy, give us that magical play. Thank you. Hello all lovely people. Ross, how are you doing? People watching, only 25 likes. Let's show him our gratitude and smash up the like button. Thank you very much for that. Wishing you a lovely stay. Okay, hello, Noob. What's up? Hello, Andy. Important day today. Market interest seems to have shifted from BTC to gold and silver now. He panic sold. Pump it, George Soros. Don't forget to tap the like. Russ, much love. Love this man. Trades Logic. Thank you very much for joining. The man, the legend, Le Kid. You're muted, Andy. I'm not muted. Am I muted? Let me just pump incoming, says Mr. So Andy, how are you doing today, brother? Respect your conviction, but BTC is gonna go down hard. This is the thing, right? The question is when, right? And that's what we are here to answer, right? In the last few days, we were favoring the scenario of bouncing a little bit more, ranging a little bit more. I don't see the price coming down from here or even coming down from here, right? We're going to bounce likely. We're going to range. We're going to attempt a possible ABC flat. We are attempting that scenario. The market structure that we formed since the lows is pretty much still intact, even though we almost changed the structure with the recent dump. But the bulls want to defend. They are defending that market structure with that dump that we got here. This is going to be a problem if this low is taken with the current information that we have. For the moment, you need to give the chance for the bulls here to squeeze out. It is true that a lot of people have been very, very bearish, very, very bearish throughout the last few days. The bearishness is like at max levels, and it is common to get a bit of a short squeeze, a little bit of a surprise kind of pump when there's so much bearishness. We're going to discuss that today. We're going to discuss the invalidations, the levels, the possible scenarios, and hopefully it really gives you that answer of questions that you have, right? When we talk about Bitcoin. Explain some scenarios. Can't wait much. Okay, much love to you. Enough talking. Much love to everybody. Thanks for joining the stream. Waiting for the TA. I have sold my house to buy the dip. Okay, I'll go through comment section later on. Classic pump and dump today. We pump first and then we dump. Very possibly. We do have the interest rate decision. I think nothing's going to change. Okay, it's going to be the same. I think there's a high probability that there's no change. So this is kind of priced in already. This is coming in later at 11 p.m. UAE time. And 11:30 we have Fed press conference. I'm not going to be in the live. I'm just going to talk about the scenarios, get some stuff ready, and hopefully we can look for a trade execution depending on the information that we get. Okay, so let's break down the scenarios. On the higher time frame, the probabilities are high that the movement up that we got since November is a corrective structure. It's very, very similar to the price action that we had in Q1, Q2 of 2022. That's 4 years ago, considering the bear market. Very, very similar market structure. Okay, we can actually, let's do it again for all of those people that were not, paying attention in the last few days or didn't join. We have a very, very similar price action that we have here from the bear markets, right? That started in 2022. Very, very similar. We just need to squeeze things a little bit. And when we zoom in here, we understand that the movement that we've had throughout the last few months is extremely similar. And what we are discussing right now in the last few days is, do we get this pump, right? Do we pump to 91, 92? Maybe it stretches to 93, 94, 95. We don't know exactly. I can explain to you how that movement can evolve, okay, and what we need to watch for to then potentially speculate on that big short. But it's super important how the price is going to develop, okay? We need to understand very, very much what we need to see here in the next 1 to 2 days. I would stretch it to 3 days, maybe entering into the weekend. And maybe it's going to be the time, to get into that epic short. Maybe it won't be the time to get into an epic short. So this is what we have, right? Highly likely that this is corrective, and that means that taking out $80,000 in the next coming weeks is we have a very, very good chance of that happening. When we do discuss the latest move to the downside from $98,000, that is this move right over here on the daily time frame, the information that we have is very likely a completed 5-wave impulsive move to the downside. That is never good. If you have a corrective higher time frame move to the upside and a 5-wave impulsive move to the downside, look no further. Forming a lower high from here has a very, very, very high probability at this moment. So there's several ways how we can picture this impulsive move to the downside. We'll focus on this local move right now, but overall, just to get the story ready and understand where we're at based on the waves. We'll talk about the confluent zones later on, but the waves is what gives you the direction, the possible direction, the timing, when we need to be patient, when we need to wait. There's a way of forming a 5-wave impulse here, where you have your wave 1 in a leading diagonal. You got your wave 2 here, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish your 3rd wave. That's very much a valid count. You got an expanding 5th wave here to finish your 3rd wave of this structure on the higher time frame. We had a zigzag move to the upside and a quick move down. After taking out that low, we can consider that this is a wave 5. This is where it's interesting right now. After forming that low, what kind of structure has been developed? Well, I can see this move up, correction, move up. There is a 3-wave move from that pivot that we have down there. This movement to the downside is a little bit of the tricky one. I have a hard time here looking at this movement as an impulse. When we do go to the lower time frames, it's very, very difficult to find an impulse here. In this case, your wave 3 would be the smallest. That is not possible. So this has a good chance of being a corrective move down, a 3-waver. You got an ABC correction and another ABC double zigzag. That would be in a WXY. Giving the chance of this to be a 3-wave up, 3-wave down, and you finish in an impulsive move to the upside to basically look for that ABC flat, right? It could take out 91K, it could stretch to 92, 93. I don't know how far this could go. I don't need to know how far it can go. I mean, it could go all the way up to $93,000. That would be the 1.618 extension when we consider an expanding flat. That's sitting at 92.5. It could go to 2 to 1. It doesn't really matter. What is important is to understand where we at here, if that is going to be the case. Now, this maybe won't happen. If we take out this low, we have something completely different. Okay, and that will be explained. But for the moment, the local market structure is bullish. It's getting the momentum. I know it looks choppy. It looks like a bear flag. I get it. It doesn't look very, very promising at the moment, especially with the recent wick down that we had here, almost claiming that last higher low, which is rare for a wave 2. Okay, so it's getting a little bit weak. This momentum is getting weak. It would have been nice to form a decent higher low here on Bitcoin. The bears really do have a chance here to form a lower high, I have to say. But anyway, we're not here to speculate on the 5-minute time frame. We're here to understand the overall structure that could bring us that big swing trade position in the next coming days. So overall, what we have here is the possibility of the price breaking out. I know it sounds unrealistic, but you know, people were doubting as well that we were going to actually rally. People talking about this little dump that we had, right? We're dumping, we're going to roll over. It's how the market can develop, how it can develop. Okay, with this 3-wave move up, this 3-wave down, and the market structure still being bullish here, we could have multiple 1-2s being developed. For the moment, it doesn't really matter how many you have. You could have 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and 1-2. This last 1-2 is not looking great because you did retrace a lot. You almost took out that higher low, and that is not great. Okay, it's not great, but it did not invalidate the uptrend structure for the multiple 1-2 scenarios. This means that a breakout in a wave 3 is very much a possibility still, as long as the structure is intact. Naturally, if you do have multiple 1-2s getting developed, that wave 3, you know, can pop really aggressively. It can be very shallow. We don't know. But eventually what we would want to see after that breakout is the exhaustion getting developed. Okay, you want to see that wave 3 that separates from the multiple 1-2s, right? When you understand that you have a wave 3 is when you separate from that uptrend structure. So that is something that could happen. And this could be a little bit of a trappy situation for all of those people that are looking for a quick short, add to the shorts, or get into this swing failure pattern, right? As soon as we hit 91.2k high from last Friday, you know, if we do get a little SFP, I'm going to short. And then what could happen here is that the market decides it wants to grind a little bit more to the upside, squeezing out all of those shorts that are entering. And then eventually, once you finish that exhaustion and that few 4-5s, is when you start getting the rollover in the next coming days. So this is really a patience game. There's some scenarios that could develop later on, which I will be explaining. That's if we do lose the higher low, the last higher low that we have here locally at 88.7k. But this movement to the upside is the moment that I would be very interested in looking for short positions. I need this price action, okay, a little bit of choppiness after the big move. Catching this big move for an SFP of this high is not the trade that I want to take. An SFP is not a good idea here. This is the thing about, right, when you learn about trading and technical analysis, you know, this has to be an awesome SFP, right? Claim the liquidity and a great rejection later on. Now, I do get it, but based on the structure, if this is going to be multiple 1-2s building up, the breakout, you know, we do not know how this breakout, how powerful it can be. Will it squeeze to 91? Will it squeeze to 93, the wave 3 already? And then we start doing this price action over here for the 4-5s. I don't know how high it can go. We've got a bit of resistance. We got, you know, this bounce lower high. I mean, this is a pretty decent SFP level for a little scalp for anybody that is, you know, wanting to look for an internal scalp. But if you are looking for that good execution for the swing short, when probabilities are really in your favor, you need to wait for the exhaustion to happen. Will it happen or not? Will we get the breakout? Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. You know, I know what I'm looking for, right? It's all about I know what I'm looking for on the chart to take the trade, right? Because for the moment, this is a very, very attractive scenario. You know, there's nothing on the chart at the moment that tells me that this could not happen, right? Breakout 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. You know, it might come to the 1.618 extension of that ABC flat. It might even stretch to the 2 to 1, you know, heading up to 94k. And that would be pretty surprising, right? For the people that want to short and that are shorting down here, right? They'll be like, holy smokes, the price is going, you know, $3,000-$4,000 against me. And, you know, it would be a surprising shock for all of those people that are entering into early shorts, right? Thinking that we're going to roll over. So this game is about waiting on a few scenarios that could happen. Naturally, if the price does take out 88.7k, I'm no longer looking for that. That means that the short position is very likely going to come later on in the coming days at lower levels. You know, I think it would make sense to start looking for shorts in the next 1 to 2 days once we lose 88.7k. There's a few ways on how the price could move here, okay? And I want to explain them. As it stands, for me to get into the short with the current market structure, I am looking for an ABC flat scenario, which I do not know where it's going to peak out, because in a C wave of a flat 3-wave up, 3-wave down, you need a 5-wave impulse. And if we only having this structure to the upside, which I need to prioritize a multiple 1-2, then naturally I would be expecting maybe a breakout in a wave 3 and then your 4 in 5 movement. This is the moment I need to get ready for the swing short position. This swing short position, I don't know where it's going to be, but you know, could give it a little bit of room, because this is looking for big major downside in the next coming weeks, with the potential of hitting $80,000 and even lower, right? Even lower. Now, there's a way to manage this trade, because you know, if we were to get that rally, we pump up, we get exhaustion into levels of resistance, right? We got this level over here, or we might even stretch our legs to all the way up to 95k, right? Where we have that high volume node over here, right? And then maybe the price does stretch its legs to the 7-8 Fibonacci, right? Into that point of control of this range that we formed last week. 2 weeks ago almost now. I don't know if we're gonna, you know, none of this might not even happen. But this is what I would be looking for, this kind of price action into the levels of resistance. It might not happen, and I want to make this clear. The price could roll over from where it is right now and continue the range, in my opinion, based on the scenario that I have here ready for you. And you might think, damn, I didn't take a short because, you know, Andy was talking about a pump and this ABC flat, and you know, I didn't take it because of him. Look, I'm just sharing what I am waiting for. I am happily in my short and happily in my long position from $86,000 and protected. Depending on the next information, it's where I'm adding very aggressively either to the short or either to the long, because there is a scenario where I add very aggressively to this long position, and that is the scenario that the price pumps up here. We're looking for the exhaustion. I'm very interested in the shorts, but then the movement down is a corrective structure and we start overlapping here. If we form this impulse, I'm interested in a big major swing short, but I'll know how to manage this, and the community will know first eventually. But if we start correcting down, instead of, I'll be managing this trade very, very much that I have from up here. and seeing what's going on. But if we start making this price action, I'm going to add insane amount into that long position to take out 98k plus. So we really need to go here with the information that is given. What a better, what a great situation if you are in a short position from the 97k region and you're in a long from 86, because you have two trades that are protected, and you know there's going to be one big movement in the next week which is going to absolutely bank huge amount of profits regardless if we go higher or if we go lower. And now it's all about managing this trade and realizing who is winning in the next coming days, who's going to win the battle. I am leaning on the bearish scenario. I think the bears are going to win. I really do believe that the bears are going to win the battle in the next coming days, and we are going to be heading down to the 80k region in the next few weeks. But I could be proven wrong, and I could be flipping bullish depending on the information that we have in the next coming days. But for the moment, it is bearish. Okay, for the moment, it is all looking for a lower high. It's all looking for the price to roll over at some point, right? We just understand that we have a completed 5-wave down, regardless if the low is here or it's here. And after a 5-wave down, you form a little bit of a corrective range, right? Or a structure or a triangle. It doesn't matter. It's the information that is developed here in the coming days will be there will be a moment where it will be easy to know exactly where we're at, considering the probabilities. Locally, I need to give the chance for the bulls to spit out here to 91, 92, maybe 93. I need to give them a chance based on the local structure. So on the higher time frame, this stands right now the main move. This is the main move that we have at the moment. ABC flat, multiple 1-2s, 3, 4, 5s. This is going to give me the chance to get into the short on the 4, 5s. However, if we do lose that 88.7k, I need to understand that, okay, well, maybe this is not looking too bullish. The thing is about this movement, we got a nice rally. The best way to connect this rally, okay, is looking at this to be a wave 1, potentially. ABC flat in your wave 2. Another wave 1 here in a diagonal. Diagonals are not very common. Ending diagonals are more common. Leading diagonals are not that common, but they are kind of common on the lower time frames. You do see them a bit more on the lower time frames, just because you have much more movements eventually on the lower time frames than higher time frames when you zoom out in time. So that could be another wave 2. This could be another wave 1. This could be another wave 2. This is a wave 1, and now this is a wave 2 right there, which almost took out that higher low. And this is why it's crucial for the bulls to hold this zone. Now, you might think, well, if we do lose this low, couldn't we still, continue to the upside and we just move this wave 2 right over here? Well, the problem is with this, right? Why is this an ABC flat? And why can't this be an ABC flat, right? Because that's an important question. Why is this an ABC flat? Why can't this be an ABC flat? Right? It was a question that I would make, so I just want to talk about it. This pump right over here, from this correction, your common zone for an ABC flat for your B wave is to hit the 1236, maybe the 1382. But if you do reach the 1.618 extension, and in this case you've reached the 2 to 1, this is like extremely low probability. There might be one B wave of a flat out of 100 that reaches the 2-to-1 extension. It's not an invalidation, but it's like super, super, super rare. Now, of course, from this A wave, B and C, the B wave, you know, got to the 1, 2, 3, 6, 1, 3, 8, 2 extension of your A wave. So that's important in detecting a flat. You know, if you do extend beyond the 1.61 extension, then you know that you're not looking at a B wave of a flat. So if you do take out this low, then we have maybe a completed structure to the upside. So it is really, really crucial for the bullish case right now to actually, you know, maintain that low for this to be a wave 2. Now, it is that this is a problem right now, of course, for the bullish case. You can't form an impulse here, as you can see, right? There's no wave 3, there's no diagonal, there's no nothing, right? So it has to be multiple 1-2s. You probably could fit a diagonal here, actually. But yeah, we'll talk about that in the next coming days, depending on how the structure develops. So yeah, it's important right now for the bulls to hold this higher low. I have to say, when you do retrace so much your wave 1, it is decreasing the probabilities, of course, to see a wave 2 that does retrace that much from the impulse that you've had. So it's not looking great. Not looking great for that wave 3, I have to say, but they still have a chance. The moment you lose this low, we're likely going to be looking for something else, and that's something else is what's going to be explained in in the next coming minutes. So let's see. I mean, the bulls do still have a chance. They still have a chance here for the multiple 1-2s. Now, hang on a minute. I need to go through the comment section here, because apparently we got that same knobhead that is coming to hate on the channel. Anyway, I'm not sure who he is. Vision, this guy right over here. It's probably, yeah. Devil, much love to you, my man. Thanks for joining in here. And all right, yeah. We got a hater. I got a couple of haters. I'm sorry, guys, for the interruption of the analysis here, but apparently we got someone who likes to hate, and ignore the haters, Andy. I know. But anyway, I needed to go through the comment section and see what's going on. Much love. Complex WXY. Very much true. Yeah, that's the thing. Booba Trading. Complex WXY, if you do lose this low. So this is the scenario. Bulls still have a chance, even though this retracement over here is, it's a little bit cheeky. It's a little bit too deep. It's a little bit too deep if we are considering multiple 1-2s here. We don't like it to retrace that much. So the other day in the community, we were talking about this movement to the upside, which it could be either A, B, C, or it could be a double 1-2, right? Maybe there's a double 1-2. If we form a higher low here, we got a chance for another 1-2, and maybe another 1-2, and maybe end up breaking out in a wave 3. So the thing is, right now, with this 3-wave move to the upside, and this movement down, and now this 3-wave move to the upside, what we do have is the potential of a double zigzag. That would be in a WXY. this has actually hit the common target zone for the WXY, which is hitting the 1-to-1 extension. 1-to-1 extension from your first zigzag, that's your wave W, and your corrective move in your wave X. You get the high to the low, to the high, 1-to-1, that's where we're struggling here. It's a common target for WXY double zigzag. 1-to-1 to the 1236. That's literally, we hit the 1-to-1, we already got a pullback of $1,000. So if we lose this low, this would stand as the movement, okay, that we have. A double zigzag WXY. So if that low is lost, that's what we have here. And then it's like, well, if that happens, what do we have on the higher time frame, right? If this is not going to be an ABC flat, okay, right, where you have zigzag up, zigzag down in your B wave, and then your impulsive move to form that flat, potential flat. If we lose that higher low, then we have this structure over here, double zigzag. What combination could we have in a double zigzag, considering the previous price action, right? Because that's what we do. We need to map the situation. Everything changes, right? Every day, every hour, right? We have different scenarios. I don't like the idea that this has been the impulsive move down. Okay, I don't like it because I don't like this movement down. I mean, it could be, we need to consider it eventually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't like this movement down for a 5 wave. It seriously looks much better as a double zigzag. Having a hard time here to figure out an impulsive move down. But it's, you know, Elliott wave theory, technical analysis, it's not perfect, right? We can picture a few things and we just need to go with the flow, right? And be defensive, be careful if we take any trades. So I don't like this to be an impulsive move down, I have to say. I don't like the idea of it because of the wave 5. I don't like the wave 5. I don't like it. It looks more as a 3-wave move than a 5-wave impulse. I can't fit it in nicely here. So I would still move with the fact that this is the impulse. That's the impulse down. But still, if this were to be the count and you have a 3-wave move to the upside in a double zigzag, this opens the door for many scenarios more, unfortunately. And that means that we'll just continue the range, maybe even testing the lows in the coming days. Because after a 5-wave move to the downside, you know, you have a 3-wave double zigzag. Would it mean that this is your wave 1 and that's your wave 2 and that's it? That was the pullback. We're still not reaching the 382 Fibonacci, which is ideal to be hit at least. That's sitting at 90,500 at the moment when we consider this 5-wave move to the downside. Remember, the 382 Fibonacci, after an impulse, over 75% of the times is hit. That is high probability, right? Everything above 70% is high probability. So it's disturbing, right? If we haven't hit the 382 Fibonacci. And also this bounce, to consider it a wave 2 after this impulsive move down, that's if we are considering this movement being the impulse in a 5-wave structure. It's a very shallow in time pullback. When we get Fibonacci time from the start of the wave 1 here to the end of the impulse in your wave 5, the 382 Fibonacci time is sitting on Friday morning. You know, still have 2 days. till we actually cross the 382 Fibonacci time. That is common, just to make something more symmetrical. You know, at least you want to end your correction after the 382 Fibonacci time. If you finish before, it's very shallow, right? Meaning that, you know, the probabilities are low that if you move down, you know, you're going to nuke down from here. So the probabilities of this being the high, this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2, that's it, wave 3 going to get developed now in the coming days, is low probability. Based on time, based on retracement, Fibonacci, 382 not hit, a lot of things that are affecting the probability that this is a wave 2 and you're just going to break down in a wave 3, you know, in the coming days. Is it possible? Absolutely. It is a possibility, but the probabilities are low for that. As explained, based on time, based on retracement. So it's not something that I'm looking at. So what would be the scenario? Well, if you move up here in a 3-wave structure, if you do take out 88.7K, we need to map out the different high probability scenarios. There is one, which is the aggressive breakdown already. Low probability on this, as explained, based on timing, based on retracement, but it could happen. It could happen, but we'll have to identify what would be the entry point later on for that short. Because if we move down in an impulse here and we correct, then, you know, I would be happy to look for the short position to take out the low. And if we break down, then happy days. If we move to the low and get a bounce, then we're looking at something else. We're looking at another 3-wave down, and then maybe the flat is formed later on. Maybe all of this could be the flat. Now, I'm not liking this scenario. I'm not liking it, but we need to talk about it because it still could be the case. Purely based on this 5th wave. I mean, I'm not liking all of these different structures that I'm talking about purely because of this 5th wave. Okay. I think the other scenarios have higher probability, which is either moving up here with that wave 3, 4, 5 to form that ABC flat from this point. But we need to understand that things could extend, right? And this is all to look for the best short later on in the next coming days. It's all looking for the high probability short entry. So this is one scenario. I'm not giving it the highest probability based on this movement. I don't like it. I would rather count this as the wave 4, and that's the wave 5. And what we have here, if we do lose that 88.7K, then if this is a 3-wave move to the upside, we have a few things. If this is an impulse down, we do have a 3-wave up, a 3-wave down, a 3-wave up. What else could this be? If we have a zigzag here for a wave W, and you take the low of your wave X, and now you have another zigzag to the upside. Well, it's not a zigzag, you got a WXY, so you can't form a Y wave here. A Y wave needs to be an ABC. It cannot be a WXY inside of a Y wave. It needs to be a simple zigzag, an ABC, which is developed by 5, 3, and 5. So that is not possible. What would be possible here? What could be a possibility is a triangle structure to get developed here in the next coming days. Now, that's something that will be easy to identify, because a triangle is very easy to identify, right? When you form the triangle, you know it's going to pop, right? You know it's going to pop when you get to the end of the apex, right? After crossing 70% of the apex, you know it's getting ready for the breakout. So this will be easy to identify. If you lose 88.7K, I'm not sure if this is going to happen, but it's something that we can look for. Okay. And what we need to look for here, if you lose 88.7K, and we do manage to find some support at some confluence here, it might be a naked point of control or daily or whatever. I haven't checked the levels, but doesn't really matter because what we would be looking for is for that bounce here on a higher low. Right, we'd be looking for a higher low in this region, give or take 88, 87, doesn't really matter. We're looking for a bounce after that movement down. That bounce is the one that we need to identify as a corrective bounce overlap. There's going to be potentially a few hours here to detect this and take that short execution, because at this point, we would know that, it's likely going to break to the downside. Now, with this scenario, there is a problem though. A wave 2 cannot be a triangle. So when we consider the breakdown here, we are not looking for a wave 3, 4 and 5. We would be looking for an ABC. And if you have this 3 wave up, you form a triangle here in the next few days. We're looking for a 3 wave move to the downside, not a wave 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse. That means that we could be forming an A, B, C flat here in the next coming weeks, which that would only be for a wave W, a wave X, and then obviously maybe that zigzag down in a wave Y in the next coming months. Of course, this is higher time frame, but this really just does change the picture of what could develop eventually in the next coming weeks, which I understand. I would be very interested in the short here, no doubt. This would be the moment to look for that short trade setup, with obviously a good chance of hitting sub 80K. So this is gonna take a few days, potentially entering into the weekend. There is where you want to detect it. You move down from here, higher low. This is going to be the moment to look for that short. The bounce. If that bounce gets a bit of overlap here, that's it, right? Move down in an impulse. You got the triangle structure. We're looking for the price to break down in an impulse. I would target $80,000. I would target $80,000 here at this point. So yeah, it's going to be interesting in the coming days. This is going to be we only have a few scenarios that could develop. There's not many. Each scenario comes to you. The price action comes to me when we develop these structures. I don't know which one's going to play out, but there's only a bunch. We don't have 20 scenarios. We have 3 or 4. Each of those scenarios will come to that critical point. In this case, the triangle, to look for entering into the E wave. Invalidation is this high. It's going to be simple. The projection of this trade is coming all the way down to 80K. You can't even see the take profit. So it's going to be a good swing short position to attempt. If we get the move down and the bounce, we're looking at 50% golden pocket, 7-8 Fibonacci. Okay, so there will be a big area to look for the short. That's what I'm looking for anyway. You're probably looking for something else, but I'm just sharing what I'm looking for. So, and I don't do bad. So maybe you want to follow. So yeah, let's see. That's an interesting structure that could develop in the coming days. If we end up taking out 88.7k, we need to analyze the local move down. Of course, most bearish case scenario is that we absolutely lose it from here already, and that's taking into consideration that you have the possibility of this being the wave 4, this the wave 5. Even though I don't like it, the market doesn't care about what you like or what you don't. It will do what it needs to do at the end of the day. But the probabilities for this is low. For this to be a wave 2 and this your wave 1, and actually nuke down from here. We got Fed press conference. We could get some volatility tonight, so we want to trade safe, remain patient. That's just a bit of noise and a little bit of local volatility that could happen. I'm not counting on this scenario. However, I might decide that I want to get into a short if we do form a solid impulse here and a very corrective bounce. Regardless, I would be looking for shorts anyway, understanding that we're not looking at the ABC flat, and that's it, right? I won't be catching the Pico top, but I would be entering a high probability setup, and that's what matters. Entering a high probability setup. So yeah, not counting on this to be the high over the wave 2 and then break down. For the moment, my trades are, as explained, the zones that I'm going to look for the shorts, because shorts are more attractive naturally. Shorts are definitely more attractive than longs, unless you got into a long here, or maybe a long that we explained on Monday. We did talk about an SFB here at 87k. That was possible based on that ABC flat. I would take significant profits already on that movement if you did get any long here. I'm happy to hold that long position, and happy to add to the short depending on the information that we get, okay, in the next coming days. This will be given inside of the trading community. In the next few days, we've got some interesting things to announce here on the channel, and we do have some very interesting things to announce on the channel. Possible, but not likely. I'm not sure what Devil's talking about here. WXYXZ is very rare. There we go. Okay. There we go. Devil giving the love and power here. People who hate on Andy are completely morons. Much love to you. Thank you very much. Any scalping possible? Scalping is very, very is very, very challenging. It's difficult. It's challenging. You need very, very good executions. I would have said here an interesting scalp would have been taking out that lower high right over here. But we did not take the lower high, okay? The thing is, this local movement to the downside on the 5-minute does fit in nicely as an impulse. It does fit in as a 5-wave structure. So you got the 3-wave move here. Golden pocket with that SFP for me would have been a scalp entry. I wouldn't have gotten in anyway because we didn't hit it. But it would have been interesting to take a short here. But take out golden pocket and that lower high, considering that this is a 5-waver, this could be a 3-waver, right? And then we roll over just for the entry, for the execution, protect position. But yeah, more internally here on the 5-minute, I'm really not interested. The only thing would have been executing a short naturally, longs are a little bit risky. They are a little bit risky at this point, considering that we have retraced all the way down to the lows here. So shorts are a little bit more attractive. But yeah, the only short there I would have here as a scalp would have been hitting that lower high and the golden pocket, literally, right? The most important Fibonacci retracement, which was missed. It was front run by, you know, $10, $20. So yeah, longs are a little bit risky here. Longs are a little bit risky based on this retracement down to the almost hitting the lows here. So, you know, we are really leaning on the edge here for this to be another 1-2. Probabilities are actually, you know, not in favor for that breakout in a wave 3, unfortunately, because of this retracement coming so close to the initial start of the wave 1, right? Because what we are speculating here is wave 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? And breakout. The fact that this wave 2, potential wave 2, came so close, it becomes very, very risky to look for a long higher low in this zone. It's just not a great idea, even though it still could happen. You know, the bulls are making a good effort here to maintain the structure with that instant bounce. This higher low could be an interesting scalp. So it's either, yeah, I mean, this would have been a good scalp short entry. This could be a possible long entry, considering that this is a wave 1 and this is a ABC flat, and the bulls do whatever it takes to actually, you know, get that breakout in the wave 3, right? In the next, between today and tomorrow. You need the reaction here. You need the reaction on that higher low. I would consider that a flat is possible. Longs are becoming a little bit risky at the moment based on this retracement for the speculative wave 2, wave 1, wave 2, right? And that's another wave 1, that's another wave 2. Very, very close to hitting the lows here. But it's still very much possible. So if you do get that reaction at this low, it could give you a good execution, good risk management. If you get the little bounce, be defensive on your stop loss. Because it might play out, right? It might actually rally. But in an ABC flat, the best scenario is to take out the lows of your A wave. Running flats, screw that. You know, I'm not, you know, in an ABC flat, it's better to take out the lows of the A wave. It's the most common. Running flats are less common, but they do happen. So they're just more difficult to trade. You know, getting into long here. We prefer liquidity grabs just because your stop loss gets above or below the wick, literally, right? It's just much better to claim a high, to enter, and then stop loss is above the high. If you take out the low, you enter, stop loss, you get the bounce, you know, you're a little bit defensive on your stop loss. You want that rally to succeed if it is going to end up, you know, moving up here to take out the highs again. So if we're considering internal scalps, watch for these two levels at the moment. Well, this one doesn't become too interesting anymore. Would have been interesting here with the 3 waiver. If you move up to take out this high, then eventually you have 1 ABC, and then, you know, you could break out in a 3rd wave. You know, this does not become that interesting anymore. So yeah, that's for somebody that was asking for internal scalps. Kind of moved away from the scalping game, but I want to get him back into scalping more. I just don't need to. So that's what happens when you're in your trading journey, and you know, you succeed eventually with time. Scalping becomes a little bit of a headache, but I do get people that have low capital, want to get into many trades and want to get into many scalps to try and, you know, increase their capital faster. But Scalping is very, very difficult. You need to be very, very good with your plans. And remember, the more you trade, the more probabilities you have in losing. That is also true, right? And you know, you need to have very, very good, clear trading plans on the lower time frame. Good evening, chartist Rudy. Much love, brother. We will crash until tomorrow, right? I love these statements. Andy, are you actually in a position? I'm in a short from 97k and in a long from 86.4. This long was given also here. This was from last Sunday. You know, we were waiting for this level for a long time. The entire week we were waiting for the Valley area low and this SFP right over here. So yeah, naturally I am in that long position from Sunday. So but I'm very interested in shorts, my man. Very, very interested in adding to the short and getting into new short positions. I love these statements from the people, right? We will crash, right? We will. The price will do whatever it needs to do. We can talk about the probabilities and the possible setups that we have ready. But the price will do whatever it wants to do. Right? It will not do what you say it will do. We understand how the price can move, and we don't do very bad, right? The only wrong scenario setup that I mentioned that I remember from the last few weeks, the only wrong one, and I was very public about it. I like to talk about my bad trades. I'm very open about it. Doesn't matter. Was this one right over here, speculating on a lower high here. I understand very quickly, and I understand where I'm wrong very, very quickly. I'm very good by managing the situation. I understand where I'm wrong when we have increasing volume and we're breaking levels of resistance. Guys, this is not a good short anymore. I am getting out. I am cutting my loss. It's looking bullish based on the breakout and the volume. So, and yeah, I'm not going to talk about all of the successful movements that we talked about in here, guys. I'm not here to brag or show you my P&L or my track record or any of that nonsense. You see it on the videos, right? You see it on the videos. We talk about the scenarios, and the recent long position was only from a few days ago, right? This was Sunday evening, still remaining in that position, and I think there is a chance here. I will cut down most of the position if we lose 88.7. If we lose 88.7, I'm taking over 50-60% of the profits here from this long, because I understand the weakness. You know, we don't want to lose that higher low. This higher low, you know, if we lose this level, it's time to cut the profits. So anyway, interesting. Weeks also wants this. We'll stick to Velto to hide. Yeah, we do have some awesome exchanges down below. Okay, your decentralized option is Velto, which is awesome, guys. Velto works very, very well. It's highly liquid. It's decentralized. It connects to your wallet directly, so there's no middleman, and the fees are very, very low on Velto. And we are moving into a decentralized world. I have no doubt about it. And having a platform that's decentralized that connects to your wallet directly for your trading, no middleman, is absolutely awesome nowadays. And Velto is highly liquid, and you do have great fees. Okay, they are very, very low fees. Taker fee is 0.02. This is less than MEXC. So Velto is an awesome option, guys, for trading with no middleman. Connects to your ledger, to your MetaMask, whatever wallet you want. There's a little tutorial as soon as you click on that link, guys, on Velto. Anybody that is interested, for decentralized platform with very, very low fees, Velto is without a doubt your option. Anyway, you also got Bluffin as well. Bluffin, great platform. I have my main funds are on Bluffin. I've been enjoying Bluffin very, very much throughout the last over a year right now. And they do have great bonuses, okay, for you. You get VIP 1 as soon as you sign up, okay, for the first 30 days. And great deposit bonuses. But Bluffin is an awesome platform. Works very, very well. You do have that link in the description as well, guys, for Bluffin, all right? Which also only requires an email and a password. Some people were talking about here personal information. Andy, where's your hair? Trump style hair. Yeah, not today. Today is a bit of a. I did find the comb today, so I managed to brush my hair today, which was good. I used Velto DYDX Mexi. Awesome, absolutely awesome. Yeah, they work very, very well. We are taking out the 90k plus level in the next hours. These statements, man, are absolutely great. We are taking out, right? We are going to, right? We need to use more probability words here instead of we will do this, we will do that. Yeah, for the moment, the bulls want to defend that higher low, the market structure on the lower time frame. Oh, here we go. It is pumping. It is pumping. Let's see if we do stretch our legs here. To the upside. Oh, yeah. I have to say the bulls did a good job in defending that invalidation here for the multiple 1-2s. I mean, it is very, very low, but so yeah, higher time frame is what we are mainly focusing on. Okay, higher time frame. What I am looking at is, I have to say, guys, you know, we're not going to, repeat myself for the people that are coming in that are new. ABC flat still looks attractive, still looks very, very possible. You've got your A wave, your B wave, C wave to the upside. In a C wave, what you want to see is an impulse move. For the moment, we don't have an impulse here. What we could have is multiple 1-2s, which has been on the verge of getting invalidated, and get that breakout in a wave 3. That wave 3, I'm going to be in no rush to get into any short positions. We need to wait for the price to get exhausted, regardless if it takes one day or a couple of days, right? We don't know. Let's see. There's no rush. No rush here for that big major swing short position. So yeah, if not, we lose that higher low and we either look for a triangle. You know, the triangle scenario is very, very possible. Triangle is a possibility. We're going to have to look for the shorts on the bounce here. If it is corrective, stop loss at the high, entry, we lose it. We could extend if this is the correct count, which I do not favor. I do not like it. If this ends up being a 3-wave move up as we lose 88.7, if we were to lose 88.7 without taking out the local highs, there is a possibility as well that the flat forms later on. Okay, ABC flat here. But I don't like this scenario very, very much based on this movement. Okay, it doesn't look like an impulse. It doesn't look great. It looks more as a 3-waver. So what we are counting on right now is either this and then down, or either the triangle A, B, C, D, E, and then down. So we're going to have to see. That's the sweet spot to short, or the sweet spot to short is get the pump in wave 3, get the exhaustion in the coming days. Then we'll look for the short position at double, triple tops, which the community will be very much aware about, knowing exactly the position that I enter, exactly like the position that was entered here at $86,000. Not many people were enjoying the fact of getting into a long position here, but we were ready. It was part of the plan. It was part of figuring out here if this was a 5th wave or if this is a B wave of a flat. We knew that a B wave here was a possibility, and then we're going to pump up to take out 91k. This was a projection that was ready and anticipated. We mentioned it on YouTube a few days ago, but in the trading community, the execution was given as we were coming down and getting a reaction down here at the low 86k level. Bitcoin will fill my limit order at 9k. Andy is 67. How old are you, Andy? I'm 67. Yeah, I'm an old. I'll guess 44. Holy smokes. Do I look that old? Seriously? Do I seriously look that old? Do I look that old? 44, man. Come on. Galesha. Let's do I was going to do a poll, but yeah, throw your, how old do you think I am, guys? Out of trading and technical analysis and anything, right? Andy live, Devilled and Mattia in the comment. Yes, sir. We got the legends. I'm going to give it. Devilled, should I do the announcement? Maybe not today. Maybe tomorrow. We'll plan it. But there's some interesting changes coming, guys. Interesting changes, not only regarding the trading community, regarding the channel, YouTube, regarding a lot of things. Okay. Oh. Paz Maria Vallejos saying 30, 33, 34. Getting close, guys. I have to say there's no one said it yet. No one said it. Andy is 34, but his wisdom is 100. My man, much love to you. Comment of the live. Here we go. From Rathford. Much love to you, brother. Andy is 34, but wisdom from is 100. We got it here. Yes, you guessed it. We didn't have any 35s. It was the only one. Oh yeah, there was one here. I'd say 35. There we go. Wav got it right. 35, guys. I'm 35. 34 to 35. There we go. A lot of you nailing it. 35. Yes, sir. 35. My son, if 33. And he looks like a 20-year-old from the 1970s, which is really like 46 in 2026. Yeah. Let's go. We pump. We pump because of that, right? We pump because of that. So it's interesting about this movement where this is an interesting short execution if you do come up from here. And this is a good, interesting long execution. We didn't hit either. This level no longer becomes a nice short if we form a 3-wave up, then this correction, because it could break out in a 3rd wave. So detecting the 3rd wave is the sweet spot to look for the short. Not when you form a 3-wave up, the correction. You need to be very much aware of an ABC flat, right? Because that's the confusion as well. from a lot of people. Well, this has to be a three-wave move if we retrace so close to the low, right? It has to be a three-wave move. Well, no, it can be an ABC flat. As long as your B wave has only got slightly above the high. I mean, if this would have gone all the way up here and then down, then that's highly likely a three-wave corrective structure. Third wave pop out. Do we get it? Double 1 2 or one ABC flat, third wave. It is looking okay for the bulls, I have to say. Let's pop out already. We were so close in hitting that higher low. I have to say the probabilities weren't looking great, but they are looking pretty okay right now for the bulls. Let's see. Do we squeeze out? Let me take a look at that poll here from the votes. What comes first for Bitcoin? 91k plus, 62%, 38% already with that 86 minus 86k. Still a lot of people not believing that we do reach out that 91k. We are less than $1,000 away. The bulls locally have a chance here for that multiple 1-2 third wave breakout to create that short squeeze. And then in the next coming days, we'll analyze where do we get into the short. Community, of course, will be knowing in advance. $100 away from invalidation, but no invalidation. Send it. CBM, my man, much love. Go and check out CBM, guys. Awesome guy and great content, technical analysis. Talks about news, talks about everything that you need to know in this space. 36 soon though. Yes, you're damn right. 35.5. Very true. Pump it. Hi Andy, do you notice a head and shoulders on the 4-hour chart? Head and shoulder on the 4-hour chart. I don't know, man. Where is the I'm not too sure about this head and shoulder. Are you talking about this, and maybe this? Maybe, I'm not sure if that's the neckline. It's a little bit of a humpback Notre Dame head and shoulder. Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, regardless, this is like combining with the Elliott wave scenario. You got a 3-wave corrective structure. You got your impulse down, and now we're looking for the bounce for a lower high. Who's short on Bitcoin from this range? Not me. Not yet. Not yet. If you're shorting, you want to take little scalps. But I'm not in the big short yet. The highs have been tested. The highs have been tested. Interesting. Very interesting. Bulls have a chance here for sure to take out not only 91k, but you know, who knows, 92. Much love, much love. 90 kid just like me. Yes. 1990. 90k, as I said. Very good, my man. Pumpy Axel. Yes, we are. Bitty is smacking. Yes, it is. $100 away from invalidation, but it was not invalidated. J Powell's last funk. Oh, interesting. I'm short. Little bit of a local double top here. Little bit of a local double top. But I'm not interested. I mean, let's take a look at the order flow here. Lots of longs entering. Lots of longs entering now on throughout many exchanges. Bybit shorts were going in like crazy here. So many shorts entering here on Bybit in a uptrending pump that we've had in the last few days. Well, an uptrending. You know, this is the problem right now for people that don't understand the risks of breaking out here, where this is going to look very staircasey to the upside, right? Got a big move down, so big move down, staircase up, right? We should roll over, but it's where we at in the map, where we at looking at the map. This is a zone which is dangerous because it could, you know, pump out. So yeah, stay safe, trade safe. I'm not interested yet in the big short. Much love to everybody pumping into the funk, then dump maybe. Very possible. I'm short 5.4. 5.4. I'm 5'6", I think. I'm not that tall. BTC just tapped 0.382. At last, we've hit the 382, right? But that's the 382 if we consider this. So yeah, at least we did hit the 382 if we do consider this the impulse. Oh, it didn't here on Coinbase. So 382 has not been hit yet. Maybe on another chart, not on Coinbase. Much love, 92, let's go. 1,000% short from 91k after taking liquidity. Yeah, stay cautious. I know 91.5 for a swing. I'm gonna tell you what, you know, we seriously need to. I need to wait for the exhaustion. Okay. For me, we need to wait for the exhaustion if we do break out in a wave 3. Okay, I understand, you know, the urge of getting into the short at 91k because it looks like a great SFP level. I'm just so aware that if it does, you know, if this is multiple 1-2s, you know, just very much aware of that third wave breakout, and then the price, you know, slows down. When it slows down is where you want to get interested in. Not interested in big volatility. It's one of those, you know, I was very interested here in getting into the long position when we swept the lows. Who remembers this long? We were talking about it days in advance, right? When we were trading somewhere in this zone where, you know, this was an awesome level, you know, and when we consider the entire structure, I was like, you know, if we come down to the valley area low and we sweep up these lows, you know, it's a swing long position. There's no doubt about it. It's a bounce that we could have of $4,000 or $5,000 in the next coming day. So this is a swing trade. You know, I'm more interested in day trade to swing trade setups rather than. So I still maintain that long position from 86k. I haven't had, you know, you could still scratch some profits, especially if we do lose 88.7. It would be a very good reason to take close most of the position. But as the momentum is still, you know, trying to push, trying to squeeze out, and I understand that we could take out those highs, at 91k and even stretch a little bit more, you know, form those 1-2s, 1-2s, 3, 4, 5, right? And we kind of form this price action in the coming days. This was a great swing failure pattern zone, 86k lows, right, that we had from December. And that's understanding this structure as well, right? We either look for the fifth wave or we either look for an ABC flat if the fifth wave finished here. So this is a great long position with high probability. You know, do you want to get into you know, obviously we do have internal local scalp long shorts. This is not great, and not great that we got follow through here. You know, SFPs sweep the highs. Do you want to get in quickly in that short stop loss? You can be defensive right now, right, with your stop loss. You know, it all depends on how aggressive you're feeling with your scalps. 1000% short from 91k after taking liquidity. Dump now, told you. Waiting for 75k. Wow, that's gonna take many weeks, if not months. Waiting for 75k. You can rest assured that that's not coming anytime soon, but it's likely gonna come at some point. I am favoring the higher time frame move down to 80k. For the moment, the map is telling us that we're likely going to come down to $80,000 in the next coming months. Okay, so yeah, and it all has to do with this movement up and this movement down. 3 wave up, impulse down, a lower high is a high probability for the moment, right? Let's see how we pump and let's see how we move down. But it does make sense to look for the shorts. It does make sense to look for the shorts, the bigger shorts, the big boy shorts. But not yet. Todavía no. Looking so corrective. Today is a major make or break. What they say about the future will determine where the market goes next. Yeah, well, news does impact. The bros are shorting now, Andy. Okay, so we got Bybit shorts entering here like crazy. Well, that's going to be some very interesting bullish CVD divergence. Holy smokes. Yeah, the bros are shorting. Everybody's shorting up here. 15 million shorts entering right now. It is coming up with a bit of open interest. Oh. A lot of people happy about that short double top. They are piling in now like crazy. Anyway, the bigger move is not going to be given, at least for the next couple of days. Okay, the bigger move, right? Someone saying here, waiting for 75k. The bigger move is what we like to do here is we're very good at with timing, right? Timing the market, timing the big move. That's what we, you know, when we were coming up here, I was very much aware of, you know, we're going to get a correction from this zone very, very likely, very soon, regardless if we take out the high or not. And obviously, naturally, after this movement down, you know, we understand that, you know, we're likely going to bounce here from the value area low. It's probably going to be a corrective bounce, but, you know, the bounce based on what we understand of the waves, we are likely going to get a bounce here. It's going to range, it's going to bounce. The bigger move down to $80,000 will not happen yet. but it could happen soon. We probably have, I don't know, maybe a week or so. It depends if we do form the flat here or we form a triangle. It really depends. Really depends if we do end up pumping up and, you know, forming the, you know, the impulse up here for that flat, and then we roll over. You know, we are looking for a wave 3 here in this case. I'm interested in this wave, and this wave is not going to happen today or tomorrow. It's not going to happen. It's not happening, guys, yet, but it will happen at some point soon. So we're going to have to wait a little bit for more information and then say, now is the moment that I'm interested to get in, guys, to make absolute bank. Maybe with you guys, definitely with the guys in the community, that's for sure. But that move is not going to happen yet. But we're coming close to it. We're coming close. One more week, maybe 2 max, maybe 2 weeks max. I wouldn't say it would stretch to 2 weeks. But it's very likely going to come, because that's what's the highest probability. And it doesn't matter if it's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We absolutely nuke in the coming weeks. Depending on what happens here, if we lose that higher low, matter of fact, that higher low now needs to be checked. Well, yeah, it's literally here. That market structure higher low. 1, 2, 3, 4. Even though, yeah, it has to be that higher low. Or the triangle. We might form that triangle if that higher low is lost. It's probably going to range for another few days, right? Lose the level, still continue holding the value area low, and then ending up, you know, instead of shorting from higher, we're going to have to short sooner, right? I don't know if we're going to get that move up above 91k, you know, maybe heading to 93 or so, or we're going to triangle in this zone. We're probably going to have to short sooner for that bigger move to take out 80k. But I am expecting this move down in the next 1 to 2 weeks max, and that's the move that I want to get into. So it's not going to happen today, it's not going to happen tomorrow, but it's going to happen soon. So Bybit bros shorting like crazy. A lot of exchanges, a lot of people are shorting right now. Huge amount of shorts. They want to try and catch the Pico top here. I do not want to participate at the moment. I am not interested in participating here for the short. I mean, of course, we do have there is the chance of rolling over, but the multiple 1-2s is still possible. And if it's possible, I'm not bro, I promise you we will dump to 85k next few days. Yeah, I'm talking about 80k though. 85k is, we're not that far away from 85k. Next few days, yeah, I would buy that. I would buy that. It could happen, especially considering if we do have a 5-wave move down here. If this is a 3-wave structure, you could still dump down here and then get the rally. And this is the ABC flat. But breaking down to 80k, which is the move that I'm interested in, I don't see it happening in the next 1 to 2 days. You think we go to 92k today? Yeah, we do have a chance of going to 92k today. This is without a doubt. There's no doubt that there is a chance of getting to 92k today. Yeah, that is very, very possible based on the multiple 1-2s, which is not invalidated. It, you know, would be interesting because I think a lot of people are... I think there's more people bearish than bullish. Let me know in the comment section. Are you feeling more bearish or bullish? I mean, it doesn't count with my community here. 63% of people said 91k plus. But I had the feeling and the sentiment that there's more people bearish than bullish. Not few days, but today. What, down to 85k? Down to 80k? I don't think so. There is nothing impulsive. Each slight pump is immediately corrected, so bull trap as hell. You might be surprised. You might be surprised. Bearish today, short-term bullish. Short-term bullish. Bearish today to 83.3k. Andy, will you see range breakout or breakdown today after 2 months? Ash, it's a bear trap, not a bull trap. Bullish to 92. I'm in a long. Yeah. A lot of shorts. It's interesting the liquidity that we have built up here as well. Okay. 92, 93. Why not sweep the liquidity shorts? Why not sweep all of those shorts first, right? And then short, right? That's what we like to do. We were very much aware that this bounce was not bullish. Okay, so I was favoring a move down here, and I was favoring, you know, a bounce at the 86k region. There were some people that were quite bullish here for a bottom in and Bitcoin bounce imminent. But based on the structure, it was unlikely that we were going to get a successful bounce based on the information that we had here. This was very, very corrective. So the idea was to move down and, you know, take out 86, those higher lows basically, with the value area low. So all of those people that were longing based on, we've got the move down, we're holding here the point of control, right, of this range, which was interesting. We were bouncing at that point of control, you know, pretty successfully last Wednesday. And, you know, eventually there was a lot of liquidity still down here because, you know, people were speculating on longs in this zone. So squeeze out the longs and then long, right? So the idea here is to squeeze out the shorts and then short. So let's see. We'll see in the coming days. We'll see. But I'm really not that bothered. You know, I'm not here to be right. I'm here to get into the best short where I'm going to be risking, you know, a significant chunk of my capital, right? And I want to get into a very good trade. I don't want to get into, you know, oh, it might roll over, it might do this. You know, we are here to look for high probability setups, and we try and go relatively big on the positions when we do have high probability. So if we take out that higher low, you know, I know what I'm looking for next. Okay, you know, we probably could be squeezing into a triangle here, and instead of looking for the big shorts up here, you know, we're gonna have to look for the big shorts here. So yeah, it's just when is the meeting? The meeting is in about an hour from, yeah, an hour and 20 minutes from now. I'm going to wrap it up very, very soon. We got a collab. Dano, crypto, much love to you, brother. Absolutely. Collab it is. Hope you're doing well, my man. Holy smokes, what a crazy roller coaster with Bitty lately. Yeah, bit volatile, bit as mentioned, I'm not interested in participating here. Not interested. Longs and shorts are battling in this zone. Let them battle, and we'll have a clear movement. I'm short from the highs and long from the lows, so you know there's not much I would want to do here. We want a little bit of more information, and the short is going to be big. The short will be a big boy short. But we need a little bit more of information, as explained. Legends, if you are interested in trading, we do have some great exchanges down below. Okay, you got some great perks. You got bluffing with the VIP one for 30 days, decreasing your fees drastically, and up to $1,000 deposit bonus. And also you do have the trading bonuses. With the more you trade, the more airdrops you're gonna get. Bluffing, you just need an email and a password, guys. Okay, you got the first link in the description for bluffing. You get VIP one as you sign up. Also, you got Velto, guys. Anybody that wants to use a decentralized platform, and they have very, very low fees, as you can see. It just connects directly to your wallet. Take advantage here of Velto as well. Very boring market. We need Powell. Yeah. Andy, what country are you from? I'm from Spain. Mother's from UK. Dad's from Spain. Born and raised in Spain. Currently in UAE. Legends, thank you very much for joining. I mean, what else can we say? What else can we say? There's not much here. Not much. Yes, you can get into a double top. Yes, you can, get into little scalps. Bulls still have a chance locally to squeeze out. It would be interesting just with the Fed press conference today that it ends up pumping or it ends up dumping, right? We don't know, but overall, the bulls of a multiple 1-2 here, they still have a chance to snap out here. They still have a chance. Even though it looks very staircasey, it looks very corrective. You could be surprised, guys. You get that pump. And then we're looking for the shorts later on, okay? So, but this zone is not a zone that I want to participate in a new short. Me personally, if you have a plan and you could have got into this double top, that's fine. You got your short, you get your stop loss, you are defensive. That's all good. And I wanted to attempt this double top, right? To see if that is going to be the high. Well, manage risk. I'm not interested. A multiple 1-2 and a breakout to the highs. You got too many shorts piling up here, and too many shorts piling up at a high means one thing: more liquidity to the upside. So I do not want to participate here when there's so many shorts. I don't want to be piling in with the dudes that are shorting here at the moment. And that's me, of course. That is me. Andy, talk to us a bit of Narcos, Pablo's Spanish. Pablo Escobar. Andy, when you first trading? I started trading in 2017. Horrible. Very bad experience my first 2 years. It was only in 2019 I was starting to be consistently profitable. The first 2 years were horrible. Horrible. very bad. Burning accounts like nobody. I've been an expert in burning accounts. I can tell you that. I think everybody's gone through that. British family, yes, absolutely. Please take a look at NIA before you go. What is going on with NIA protocol? Do we have anything special with NIA protocol? I'll tell you what I'm bullish on. I'm bullish on oil. NIA protocol, damn, there's not really much that we can talk about this. It does look like a little reversal bounce could happen. You do have a bit of a 5 waver. It is slowing down here. Coming down to the lows. A little bit of a relief in a range and a bounce here is very much acceptable for NIA protocol, I have to say. I'll tell you what, I'm super bullish on oil. This is going to pop. Get ready, guys, because it is going to get expensive to fill your tank in the next couple of years. This is like, holy smokes. You do not like this. You do not like to see this this triangly corrective structure. When oil went down below, we went to minus $20 when we had the C19 crash. I experienced this live. I was taking a look at oil as it was happening. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that oil was you were getting paid to hold oil because the fun fact about this, you know, obviously transportation and everything, the world stopped, right? You know, nobody could go out, and eventually these the oil companies that are producing oil, they cannot turn off the production because it's extremely expensive to turn back on. So the oil is flowing out. People are not using it because everybody's, with this quarantine. They're giving oil out, not for much, but they needed an emergency to give oil, to store oil basically. And they can't stop the machines because it's extremely expensive. It could get clogged, and so it was. I did research on this information, and that was the case. The main reason is because the world stopped. Transportation stopped completely with quarantine, and you cannot close down these big oil production companies. And there was a little period, about a couple of days, where you would actually get paid to store the oil. Wasn't much, but anyway. Apart from that, we got obviously the recovery throughout the last few years, natural recovery, and now we've been consolidating in a massive correction. We've got pretty damn solid impulsive move here on oil from 2020 all the way up to mid 2022. This is a very, very bullish pattern, right? It's just a wedge. It's a flag. And this is very likely going to pop out in the next coming months. So get ready to see oil prices above $100 in the next few months, guys. It's not going to be a pretty picture. Yeah. Filling up your gas tank, depending on where you live, is going to be expensive. So, let's go, brother. Time to long crude oil. Absolutely, you can long oil. BTCC has oil. It has crude oil. I'm very much interested in. It does have. Yeah, you can trade. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, US oil. You can trade oil on BTCC, guys, as well. You do have the link down below somewhere for BTCC with the bonuses. But yeah, you can. Time to long oil. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. This is going to pop in the coming months. This is the 3-day chart, so this could consolidate a little bit longer, but it is getting squeezed into the apex. It is squeezing, so there's not much time here. I would say there could be another few months, but this is ready to pop, and I think we're going to see maybe end of 2026 or in 2027, we're going to see oil at above $100 again a barrel. So yeah. BTC trading oil, receiving BTC using US dollar tether. Yeah, you can do that. Legends, thank you very much. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for joining today's stream. People are shorting because we always dump into a funk. Then 15 minutes after Powell finishes his speech, we get an upward rally. Yeah, that also happens. That also does happen. Legends, thank you for joining. Let's do a like button recount. Thank you very much. There's going to be some big announcements in the next coming days. Come on, Legends. We're over 500 people when we got 200 likes. We can do better than that. Much love. Oliver, much love to you. Show the Fed decision. Yeah, that's in 30 minutes. We ain't going to do that. We ain't doing that on the channel. If an unexpected rate cut, it's announced, we might enter a bull trend, right? Yeah, very possible. It's very, very possible. Maybe we got a surprise rate cut and markets pump. Yeah, interesting area where we at. Interesting area. But the big short will be announced in the next coming days. When I'm a little bit more confident, right? We're very confident that we're going to roll over from here with another high or not. Confident in this long, and after that, it's a bit of noise. We have the bullish scenario, we got the triangle scenario at the moment, we got the pump up, we got a bit of noise. That's it. Not interested in the noise. Legends, thank you very much. Remember that you got some awesome exchanges down below, okay, where you get some great bonuses. You just need an email and a password. You can start trading on Bluffin right away. You've got great perks. VIP1 decreases your fees as you sign up. $1,000 deposit if you deposit 10K. Lots of great perks. You can see all of this info as you click that link down below. Thank you very much, Legends, for joining today, and I will see you tomorrow.